What up, what up, what up? So, this is episode 2,
Hey,
I think,
whoa,
2
whoa.
of
Shorty
AOJ,
said,
the
she
Corona
like my jewels.
Chronicles,
Shorty
right?
said,
And next
she
to
like my
me,
shoes.
I've got
Shorty said,
my hermano, the one and only Uzuhan. Uzuhan, say what up to the peoples,
Woohoo! What up?
right?
Hello.
If you've never heard of his stuff before, shame on you. Uzuhan is I'm gonna say it. Can I say it? I'm
Oh,
gonna say it. He is
all right.
the only Korean American, or let's say Asian representation in CHH right now. Right? Don't call him a pioneer, because if you're familiar with his music, he doesn't like that. Right? But Uzu, introduce yourself to the peoples.
Okay. My name is James Han. Also go by Uzuhan, my artist name. I'm a Korean American uh artist, hip hop artist based out of Atlanta. I am also a graphic designer and video producer by trade. I studied all that in college, and yeah, what else do I do? I just do a lot of creative stuff and try to make a living for my family.
Right. Well, I don't like calling you a hip hop artist, right? Because sonically and musically, you do so much, right? You
It's
do so
true.
much. So there are some hip hop artists that try to sing and they really shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh my
Right?
gosh.
I'm not gonna call anybody out, but there are some out there that sing on their songs, but they shouldn't. But you do hip hop, R&B, like you sing, right? There's
Like pop.
like you do a lot of pop stuff. I mean, you write all your own stuff. So there's a lot. You're multifaceted. Let's say that, right? You're
Agreed.
multifaceted. On despite all the other things that you do as far as design and video producing and editing, right? Your last video, Shorty said, which was
Mhm.
super fun, right? You directed and edited that yourself,
True.
right? So so how's it been? How has Corona been treating you?
It's been good. I all of my income comes from online, or most of it, minus shows which have all been canceled, but
Oh,
things are
hopefully back.
still, yeah, well, but things are still going as usual. I'm actually thankful because I have more time to record now. I don't have to like go out and do other stuff, because I've been trying to look for time, outside of my other work, looking for time to record. So I'm loving it being at home and catching up on shows. And like me and Grace, we started, just reading books together and just
Oh,
being not glued to our TV as much.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
fun.
It's been kind of crazy in the Soto house
Oh, I
because
bet.
I mean we're still working, right? So Magda's upstairs where I am now in this
Right.
area, this beautiful little home office area,
Mhm.
and I'm downstairs, but we had to split the kids because
Uh,
together they and they scream and they fight a lot, but
mhm.
we separate them. Like the girl stays up here with Magda and the boy stays downstairs with me. I
Yeah.
get to work and homeschool, right? But beyond
Wow.
that, like you say you're able to do music. I've told you that I was approached by a publisher who wanted me to write a book, and
Mhm.
I've had a hard time finding the time to like get started, right? But
That's tough. Oh my
I
gosh.
got I got time now.
Yeah, bro.
I got time now. It's actually been like, oh, hey, baby, from this time to this time, I'm gonna close myself off and I'm gonna write. Okay, I'm
Wow.
done. Right?
Wow.
But talk about that, about your shows being canceled, because there are a lot. I mean, there are a lot of people. We know a lot of creators
Mhm.
that depend solely on shows, make their income solely on shows, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of these things are just being if they're not being pushed back to next year, like 2020 Fest,
Fest. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2020 Fest, they're just being canceled right out,
Hmm.
right? So how has that affected you, and how has being home and having time affected your creativity?
Oh man. I so I think the shift that happened in me, especially since like streaming became more prevalent in the States, it's been like
Yeah.
what, 4 years now, 3, 4 years. I think I've even shifted my expectations because, and this is me just becoming older too. I don't feel like I need to do shows to like fulfill my artistic needs
Right.
anymore, actually. So like for me personally, like I have been just focusing on creating great, riveting content and music. And then if I do get shows through that, I'm happy with it. So for me, like I'm a little different than other of our friends and peers that we have who rely on tours because they generate a lot of income and livelihood for their
Hmm.
family. So like for me, I'm okay with it, but it hurts me to see like friends having to like cancel their shows. And I know a lot of them rely on these paychecks to pay for their future endeavors and their homes. But yeah, I'm okay actually. I like being home, and I've done a lot of like soul searching and like digging into my like own um like the false self that I believe in sometimes, like false self of like feeling like I'm significant because I'm busy or whatever. But now that all that busyness is gone, like I'm faced with myself, and the
Yeah.
hard question is like, do I like who I am? Can I look in the mirror and be like, I really like him. I like who this is, So I've had to really like do that, because now I don't
Wow.
have distractions. I have to be like, do I like me still? Like, do I? That's just like a superficial way, Yeah, exactly. You
Right.
can't see my
But
stomach, but like,
it may seem superficial, but no pun intended, it does carry a lot of weight,
yeah.
right? Like that self view does carry a lot of weight, right?
Yeah.
It also, it steers on how not only we view ourselves, but how we think other people view us, right? So we
Hmm.
have to like try to find a happy medium and be happy with ourselves. I've been there. I've been there. I'm at the point now where I love myself. I love myself fully, but there are some things that I could do without, right? Right? Like I could do without eating so much pizza, right?
Oh
I
my
can do
gosh.
without like getting losing my temper so quickly, right? Like
Hmm.
things like I mean, being here has made me realize or has helped me realize that that the alone time that I thought I was spending with God wasn't really about God, but more about me wanting to like take a break from the world,
Mm.
right? So even like my alone time was self-serving, right?
Right,
Like
right, right.
I'm tired of all this crap, right? I'm just gonna go away and pray, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I really didn't pray that much. I would more like have conversations.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
how,
Bro,
how,
I mean, I'm
how
finding it hard. I'm finding it hard to do that. Just like and be still,
yeah.
and just be in the presence of God. Like I'm like feeling so uncomfortable now because before I'd be like, okay, I have these like slot this amount of time that I have with God and I'm off with my day. But now it's like, oh, I guess I don't really have to leave after like 15 minutes. Like I guess I could just chill longer. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go be distracted. Sorry, God. Bye. You know?
Yeah, because it's different 'cause we're home all day, right? Even
Yeah.
church online. So like we're home all day. So we're under this false belief that there's always time, right? Because before we had to make schedules, right? I had to go to work, right? Like I would go to work all day and then I would come home at a certain time to help my wife bathe the kids, read a
Right.
Bible story to them, pray with them. Like there were things were had slots. Now the slots are gone, right?
Mm.
There are no slots now. So we tend to just like, oh yeah, just push things away. Oh yeah, I can do that later. Oh, I can come back to that, right?
Mm.
So what has kept you busy?
Whoa. Okay. I have been still trying to figure out a routine for myself. So there was like this like pray as you go app that or it was like a website I sent you. It's like
Yeah.
a 10-15 minute guided prayer time to just like start off my day. I've been using that and also just reading a book in the morning and like just whatever book because I realized I've just been glued to my screen so much. So like I'm reading the Lord of the Rings right now. So I
Nice.
literally read like I don't know 10 pages in the morning. I just sat there and sure it might not be, I didn't like pray first. I was like, thanks God for waking me up. And then I read, about like hobbits. um, but like that kind of got my mind stimulated. And then, I'll like listen to the guided prayer, have like tea. And then honestly, after that, it's kind of like I'm like, okay, I think I have to check some emails, but I don't have like structure still. Like it's hard to find structure for me. And, trying to be productive, I feel like this pressure that I have to like utilize this time and be like the most productive I've ever been. So it's weird.
But
It's a weird time.
you have been a bit productive, haven't you?
Well, I
Because
have been. Yeah.
right, you have been a bit productive.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been making new music. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Oh my gosh.
but,
You're
but
actually right. That's what takes a big chunk.
I'm trying to guide you. I'm trying to guide you, right?
Oh, true. How did I forget? I'm in my recording booth. What am I saying? Oh my gosh.
So
God.
is that exciting, right? Because I mean, now
Hmm.
you have time to be like fully creative, calmly, right? Instead of trying to
Yes.
sneak slots in,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
So what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Well, just I'm working on my new mini album slash EP. I don't have a release date yet, but I'm gonna try to release it, the next few 2-3 months. So we'll see how quickly I can finish these. But just working on these concepts and I'm trying to like brainstorm what kind of content I want to create around it, like what kind of videos, because, can't meet up with anyone. So I gotta think of something.
That is so true. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. Dude, I didn't think about that. That is so true.
I had an idea where like I would have to map out every shot, but like if I have a few artists that I work with, maybe I could like make continuous, shots around the house, where I like run into the door and then he like is on the other side. I don't know.
Oh, that's dope. I mean, with editing, anything is possible,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
With right editing, anything is possible, right? And you're that guy. Like you can do you do the editing.
Yeah.
So so we're looking forward to new music. Is it a new direction? Um, is it different from the other things you're doing?
Yeah. I think the biggest piece of growth for me that's changed from like 2015 and has been growing even from 2018, 19 and now, like seeing the human voice, seeing my voice as like um as being let's see, the main instrument, or even seeing that it's valuable, that I have a voice, that I have something to say. Like all these things are just coming to the forefront in this
Yeah,
piece.
yeah.
I'm kind of like coming to accept who I am and how my voice has been created and what I represent, stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be different. I mean, like, I made music for the church back in 2010. I was making music, kind of for an industry almost in
Right.
around 2015 to 2018. And then starting in late 2018, 19, and then now I'm starting to realize like, oh, I just want to make music for myself. I'm starting to make the songs that I would actually play in my playlists. I mean, other songs in the past, for sure, like I listen to that kind of stuff, but the kind of things that I'm making now, like and then especially like the songs that are going to be coming up in the future, like I feel like I'm really proud of the things I'm starting to create because it's starting to, I was also a thing I've kind of let go in 2020 is like being afraid of what other people would say of me. I'm realizing like as I learn to accept more of who God has created me to be and love that, I'm choosing not to be as scared to like say what I've always wanted to say.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, we're family, right? So I'm gonna ask you something. Um, because we on different sides, but um we're both in this whole music, let's say Christian music scene,
Hmm.
right?
Oh
I don't
yeah.
want to I don't want to say industry, but I want this whole Christian music scene. And there are a lot of artists. Okay, I'm gonna preface this with, you know, this is my viewpoint, my opinion, right? It's
It's your
also
show.
it's also my show, right? Right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of artists that are lyrically, visually, seemingly trying to um, push the boundaries of the Christian faith, right? To
Yeah.
just be to be seen as regular, and the translation or the interpretation of regular for them is almost borderline not to be seen as a Christian, right? Oh,
Mm,
yeah, I don't want you
yeah.
to see me as a Christian. I just want you to see me as a regular person. But
Mm,
you know, the pastor Bible nerd in me is like, well, if you're a Christian, that's your regular person, right?
mhm.
Because less of me, more of you, Lord. Um,
Yeah.
how do you, because you're saying all that about your music and about yourself, because as you grow in your faith and as you mature,
Yeah.
right? You know, things change,
Right.
right? How you dress changes, how you speak changes, how you respond or react to things change. So of course your music changes, and
Mm,
it's like the older you get, the freer you feel to express yourself, like
right.
honestly, right? I don't care where the chips fall. This is me, right? At least that's where I
Right.
am,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
How does all of that speak or sound in your music now?
I think I have discovered more of what the function of music is for culture and society at large, and what music meant for me. So I'll unpack that a little bit. So before I thought music was just a medium to get out a particular message,
Yeah,
and that's it. That's kind of how I first started. It's just purely the message and content. And then as I started creating more, I was like, oh my gosh, I love the art of it. There's like a whole artistic aspect of it, and how you create prose and stuff around that.
yeah.
That my taste started to develop. But for me, what's different nowadays is I've just, and this is the church that I went to when I moved to Atlanta, and being more involved with, my friends who are in marginalized groups, like, feeling the compassion and the justice of God, and wanting to see that in culture. That's something I never personally fully experienced or really dived into, because I just feel like I was, privileged and lived in a bubble for a good portion of my life. So the things that you'll hear in my music are just me discovering more about how the movement of God and the church is um, a powerful catalyst in the culture. Like, I don't want to. I guess also this stems from my experience growing up at a Korean American church. Like, there were so many people that were hurt around us, and yet people in the church didn't seem to care or act like these things didn't exist, in the communities around us. Like, if there were police shootings, or things that really affected people outside of just our circle, like, I felt like as Christians, we should hurt for them too. Like, why are we
Right.
acting like it? Or some people don't even know it exists because no one's paying attention to news like that. I didn't want to be that kind of Christian, because I felt like, one, as someone who didn't grow up in church, if I were to meet someone who was so disconnected with what's going on in the world, I would think, like, I don't know, I wouldn't find that faith to be attractive. I wouldn't find any use for that. I would just be like,
Yeah.
well, that's a nice little cult you're a part of. I'm gonna go to the real world. That's kind of I personally want to live as a man who stands for righteousness, for God's righteousness, and defends the marginalized. That's just in my DNA.
Yeah.
And I wanted my music to make those who were marginalized feel like they were seen, or feel like they have a voice. And ultimately, I mean, it's and my ethos behind that is because God has seen us, and the way I see Jesus's life like play out in the New Testament, like I see that he sees the marginalized and goes after those who are marginalized and lifts
Yeah.
them up. Um, so yeah, that's like a big shift you'll see. I'm, one of the songs, it's I'm sure I use language, not profane language. I use choice words that'll get like conservative evangelicals probably upset, just because they're like, why did he say that? Oh my gosh. Um, but it's okay.
Well,
I just want to uncover and unpeel the things that I've observed in the Christian culture, and
right.
I want to reveal it to us.
As long as they're open to asking why, right?
Yeah.
Asking why, so that those conversations can be had rather than getting offended and pushing back, right? So, I mean, I know you, so I know your heart. I know it's not just to stir up trouble. So my
Yeah.
next question would be for the young kid,
Yeah.
who wants to have a voice or even hear a voice, right? Because I mean, I had no voice, right, when
Mm.
it came to my growing up in the church. Um, well, and then when I did, everybody was trying to shut me up. But that's
Mm.
for that's for the overflow podcast, not for this one. Uh, right? But for the young kid that wants to do music, right, for the kingdom, right? But also like wanting to stay true to his identity and who he is or who she is, right? Like, what would you? And this is twofold. What would you say to them, and who would you tell them to listen to?
Oh, interesting. Hmm. Well, so I think in general, this applies for any industry. Just working on your character, that's always going to be solid point of advice. Like
Yeah,
if you,
true.
I mean, other than that, is that kind of like a given, or I guess that could be my response because the music part, learning skills, developing taste. I mean, that's going to be answered in the second part of this question, but the first part is
Yeah,
just working on character and integrity because over the years, you just see like how integrity or even how bosses, say you get to a position of power, as a musician or whatever, or you get popularity and you blow up, and you start being able to work with different brands. And if you never work on your character, like whatever music career that you thought you were gonna have is just gonna like you're gonna have to start over because people do not respect people without integrity and without
right.
character. And if you're just self-serving, like that'll only go so far. And to the credit of people who are very self-serving, they do go very far. But the reality in this industry or anything that happens, like success is not totally earned. It's people who are like wildly successful do not attribute 100% of that to themselves. Maybe not even 50. It's like 49 because a lot of success is, it's like chance
Yeah,
plus like preparedness, and then they meet at an intersection and something happens. But that, that luck, that chance, that's, I mean, a lot of it's God steering, these opportunities to be able to like happen for folks.
yeah,
So that's why like you gotta be prepared, and being prepared is working on your character. And like, as a Christian, like being part of your local church, like, and being
mm,
part of like being like mentored or having people in your life who can like tell you the truth, and exploring that together, like that's what's helped me survive, you know.
yeah. Those are all good keys. Those are all good keys. Good things for you to like. If you're listening, and this is something that you're interested in, to write these things down and like put them up wherever you record music. Right?
Yeah. Ooh, I have a few other things though. I think two things.
Dale?
Expectations, like I think that's something that I've had to learn how to like develop proper expectations, like believing that not everyone's gonna like, I don't know, you're not owed anything. That's really was important for me. And like developing your taste. That's like, and that goes into your second point. Developing your taste like will help keep you like be a fresh asset, you know, to whatever team, whatever place you find yourself as a creative. Because you know, if you don't, like, I'll meet some artists who like literally have no idea who like Roddy Rich is or whoever's like at the top of the charts right now. And I'm like,
Right.
how do you not know in your own industry, you know, like who this person is? Like, it just is beyond me, you know. Like, I think developing your taste and being aware of who's at the top right now allows you to keep it fresh. And you know, like I personally listen to like Kanye West, you know, for his musical ideas.
Well, now everybody.
Probably, yeah, now everyone does, yeah, because you know he made a Christian album, gospel album. But you know, like for me, I don't know. I don't necessarily always recommend listening to like Christian artists per se because I will I care about like the musical ideas. You know,
Right.
there are some Christians who are in the music industry who have great musical ideas, and I've grown to become more of this kind of person that loves musical ideas. Um, so like in terms of like developing your taste, I would say don't just look at Lecrae. Like who else in that industry is like at the top? Because I can name like 30 other artists who are like surpassing what Lecrae is doing. You know. Or not just looking at hip hop, but go outside of that genre, you
Right.
know, like
That's a good one.
look at other genres, like being inspired by other places, which is common language in 2020 anyway. So I don't have to, for a young person, they already do that. Like
Yeah.
they already are looking at different genres. Genres don't even exist. So
Yeah.
I don't
That's
even know what I'm talking about.
true. That's true. It's different. It's different now. You guys have it so easy.
Oof, man.
You guys have it so much easier like than I did when I was out there pressing CDs and paying for
I'm,
this and paying for that, right?
mm,
And getting rejected by churches.
oof.
Like actually being told, "Oh wait, what kind of music do you do? Oh, I do a little hip hop reggaeton." Yeah, yeah, we don't believe in that in that music. Oh, that's okay. It doesn't believe in you either, but like here I am.
Mm,
You invited me.
yeah,
So it's a
bro.
lot different now. Um, I was gonna ask you something else. So in saying that, right? It's in there because we've had conversations between about the churches that we were brought up in
Hmm.
and the cultures. Like we've talked about how like as far as our elders, how our cultures, our elder culture is a little similar, right?
Mm.
So how do you tell that to like the next Korean kid that wants to do music like you and tell them to listen to different artists without getting the wrath of their grandma or their pastor, right?
Yeah.
Because that translates to, hey, you're telling them to go out and listen to non-Christian music,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you're,
Yeah.
you are pushing them out of the church, right? Now
Hmm.
because of you call yourself a Christian, but now they're bringing all this bad music into our home. So how do you tread that carefully?
So in an ideal world, a parent, I would imagine, like helps a child interpret, you know, whatever media, whatever types of things they consume and see. So, you know, like
Right.
if you're able to know that, hey, this song, you know, is talking about these things about women, or, you know, like about authorities or whatever, like ideally a parent would be able to help their child understand, like, hey, you know, these are the things that God asks of us and is healthy for us to abide by, you know. So like you know, like I say that because in terms of music and how music is like interpreted, like sure you can say that I'm suggesting that they listen to secular music or whatever, but I still think that like secular sacred divide is kind of silly in one sense, because like just because someone is a gospel artist, you know, like I hear stories of like the evil in CCM and gospel, you know, the industry. You know, just because they say
Yeah.
Jesus, are they actually exemplifying the heart of Christ, you know, in their music? Whatever. I can fake being anything, you know. So like, I don't
But
know. I
you
just
have
kind
a
of
you have a lot of secular artists that put God in their lyrics too, right? Right along with that
yeah.
booty shaking line, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's hard to decipher, but I think in an ideal world, a parent or someone who discipled you or someone who you trust can help you just interpret, or even your friends. You know, like it would be ideal to have these conversations, you know? So like I make these suggestions, you know, but what were you
Yeah,
trying to say?
I think that I think the number one thing that parents need to understand, if this were to come up, I'm not saying that this comes up, whatever,
Yeah.
is they need to not assume that their kids are not already listening to that music.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because trust me, they are.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They're if anything, they're just using you as the scapegoat because
Mm-hmm.
they're already familiar. They're already listening to it. They know all the lyrics. They have all their favorite songs. They
Exactly.
sing the explicit versions when they're outside of the house. I
Yep.
mean, come on.
I mean, yeah,
It's
children are gonna
like
be prone.
I
They're
was
gonna be
that.
prone to do that.
I was that kid. I'm in my 40s now. The reason why I got into Christian hip hop was because I was preaching at a youth rally, and I think it was like 500 kids, and they were all talking about how great the new, like, I think it was like new Eminem album was or whatever. Somebody, I don't remember what it was, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't, and it wasn't like 5 or 10 of them. I'm talking about like every hand raised, and they were all telling me how great it was and how awesome it was, and then asking me if I heard it, and I'm like, no, I haven't heard it yet. I wanted to see what you guys thought, right? And by the end of the night, the pastor's kid, who was the youth pastor, gave me his copy. All right,
Lit.
so
Oh my gosh.
you know what I mean. So I mean, I think parents need to wake up to that first and foremost, right? And then like you said, you know, with discipleship and
Mm.
being present, right? Being present, being realistic, that'll help. I'm trying not to speak too much about my own personal rebellion. Um, what else was there? I was going to ask you something else. All right, so after after the forced quarantine, the Corona quarantine, what
Mm.
what's like the number one thing that you're looking forward to do once we're all let out of our cages?
Whoa. Interesting. I think you're asking me too early. Like too early in the quarantine.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know. We
experiencing
wanted to
TikTok.
go travel. I'm looking to travel again because me and Grace, we wanted to travel to places, you know, but we can't. So I'm
No,
looking forward to just traveling. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to traveling. Just like hop on a plane and go somewhere.
it's funny because like every day, Magda and I are looking to see if we're able to keep our trip at the end of June to Poland.
Bro, that's gonna be
May
tough.
not, we may not. So
Yeah.
if if we're not able to, and they allow us to push our trip back, then I'm going to push it back to Christmas.
That might be better,
Spend,
actually.
spend Christmas in Poland. But I already told my wife, and I guess this is my way of telling you, even though you hear it again. Like as soon as everything's lifted and we're good, right? I'm gonna wait another 2 weeks just in case, you know, like first
Yep.
month's rent and security. And I'm gonna do like the biggest grill and chill that I've ever done in this house.
It's gonna be legendary.
I have everybody, almost everybody, over so we can just chill, just be together, see each
Yeah.
other again,
Seriously. Yeah.
and eat and drink and be grateful.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
Right?
Uh,
I'm gonna be so happy to just have everyone here, and just have everyone here. Just have everyone here. Just you know, we praise, we worship, we eat, we drink, we're happy, we do life and love like we normally did, right? And just bring everything back.
True.
That's my big goal at the end of this.
Can we talk coquitos on this podcast?
Of course, we can talk anything.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
So what you're telling me is that you want me to make coquito for?
Yes, it's so good. Yeah, gosh.
My gosh. Matter of fact, I should go make some coquito right now. Once we're done recording this. I got nothing but time. Yeah. All right, so let's shut this down. You said you don't have a release date for your new music?
I would say give it 3 months, honestly. Yeah. I don't have a date. I mean, I could probably make one up right now just for the sake of your podcast, but that would be a lie because I might.
Nah, don't do that.
Yeah. Probably sometime in June.
But it's all right. It's something for all of us to look forward to. I am going to say that I have the scratch that you sent us, right? That you sent. I haven't heard it yet. It's been kind of crazy. But when I go downstairs now to have dinner with the family, I will throw it on. Because your niece and nephew are also your biggest fans.
Oh, man. Love them.
Also your biggest fans. Kids got me crazy watching, I told you, watching Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I created his own mix on YouTube, and it's compiled Disney Aladdin songs, Uzu songs, and Michael Bublé songs.
Yes, I'm right next to Michael Bublé.
You're between Will Smith and Michael Bublé.
It's a good list. Oh man,
that's their list, and they sit there and they start dancing and singing. It's. I'll send you some videos that I took. It's incredible. But all right. James, it's weird calling you James.
Yeah.
Because it's always hermano. But hermano mío, thank you very much. You honor me by doing this with me.
Yeah, bro.
Thanks for sharing your routine, your life, and your studio space.
Oh yeah, the cave, the closet. This is all my audio.
Say it again.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I said my cave. Welcome to my cave.
The music cave. All right, so everybody that's listening, say goodbye to James. You can follow him.
Bye.
At Uzuhan Music on everywhere. So follow him on Spotify. Follow Uzuhan Music on Twitter. Instagram, Facebook,
everything.
The other one. What's the other one? YouTube. It's the YouTube.
YouTube and TikTok. Right? But actually, I make terrible TikTok videos. Don't follow me there
yet. Somebody told me I should get on TikTok during quarantine. I'm like, yeah. Even during quarantine, I'm too old for TikTok. Get out of here with that.
Yeah. And
see me, 47 years old on TikTok, trying to floss with the young ones. I'll get a lot of followers.
TikTok dad account. Oh my gosh.
I'll get a lot of followers of just young people making fun of me and roasting me. Yeah,
that's probably true.
My pride can't take that. I'm gonna be real honest. My pride can't take that. But yeah, follow Uzuhan on Uzuhan Music at all social media platforms, and listen to his music on every single platform you use to listen to music and watch your videos on. Right? Yes. Probably the most creative writer, rapper, singer visual artist out there with his music videos that you'll ever see. Right?
Oh man.
He does more than
man.
just like you do more than just stand in front of a camera and like rap your lyrics. Right? That's super creative. We need more of that. We need more of that. We need more. Oh my God, we need more of that. But let me stop. I'm already like breaking off friendships in CHH.
It's all good. Love you, bro.
Which is fine. Just fine. Anyway, yeah. Good night. I know you have to cook.
Night.
I'll give my love to Grace. Right. So later, good sir.
See ya. Bye.
Thanks again.